Erectile issues. Don't blame him. It's a couple issue. Hi, welcome to Lily Love Coach. Erectile issues are not just his issue. Some guys might have things like premature ejaculation, difficulty having an orgasm, or having a hard time remaining erect, with or without you. It's not your fault either. It's a combination. When you have a couple where there's any kind of sexual issue, we could blame our partner and tell him to just go deal with it and, get himself fixed or be critical, which is super hurtful to a man's ego. I mean, his balls and his brains are really like gems, the most important things in his life. So if we castrate him with our words, it can do permanent damage, and sometimes you cannot take back words. I've heard such critical things when working with people, like her saying, "Oh my God, he lasted so long, I only burned 20 calories." Or, "That's it?" Or rolling over and completely ignoring, eyes rolled. Yeah, I could go on. The list of critical comments is really pretty sad. If you are a couple and the man is experiencing some form of erectile issues, first of all, to us women, can you imagine? We have issues all the time. They're just not visible. They don't manifest in our body sometimes, but, it's not like we have to perform in a way that's going to be observed by the other person. It's hard for us to relate to what that would feel like, having an issue with something that is so important. Be loving and tender and look at it as a couple issue. If you want to get through this as a couple, talk about it. Sexual communication is one of the most important pieces of having a great sex life. So if he's coming more quickly, things to examine are patterns that are happening. Or does he come quickly when he's masturbating? Has he come quickly with other women in the past? Does he notice anything that he might be able to place on why this is happening? What are his thoughts leading up to the bedroom? Is he over-focusing on you and not paying attention to his own arousal levels? Or focusing on you as a deflection so as you won't notice what's going on with him? What else is going on for him mentally? Is there a connection still in the relationship? Is there resentment? Is there some boredom where things need to be opened up? In many cases, his cock is telling him something. If he's coming more quickly than he would like. So explore it without judgment. Be curious. If a man is having difficulty maintaining an erection, it might have to do with blood flow. It might have to do with not having adequate stimulation. Ask him what it is that he needs. Or if you're a guy listening to this, tell her that you might need more arousal or that you need more time to get harder. More talk, more touch, more breath, more kissing, whatever it is. Be honest and be real with yourself. Don't treat yourself like your cock down there is acting independently of your body, of your mind, of your connection with your partner. He's not your enemy. Join and figure out what's going on. So the obvious has happened in the bedroom. Do we just want to ignore it when something so obvious is in our face and you don't talk about it? That makes the energy around the situation so much more uncomfortable than if you just dive in and open up the content of what's happening. This way, both people can be on board and you can explore feelings, and if she's taking it personally or just figuring out the issue. For anorgasmia, or difficulty getting over the edge, instead of getting frustrated with yourself and focusing on, getting there and focusing on the orgasm or what's getting in the way, just enjoy the sensations. Talk about this with her as well. Perhaps she's thinking that she doesn't do it for you, and your orgasm represents how into her you are. Explain that's not the case, unless it is, then be honest. But the reality is, anorgasmia has a lot to do with the ability to let go, to lose control, to be seen. Often people end up being an eye in on themselves, an observer to the sexual situation rather than in it and engaged. It has to do with loss of control and trust. And the list can go on. There's not one general equation, one size fits all. So open up with your partners as to what's happening. And to the women, don't blame the men. And to the men, you don't have to hide it from us. Let's work together, be team players here after all. If we want to make it as a couple, let's work together as a couple and figure out the problem. Jump into solutions. Okay, good luck. Whether PE, anorgasmia, or ED, it's not just his or your fault. Do you want to blame your partner? Don't be critical. Words will not be forgotten. Have respect for his balls and his brains. Women's sexual issues are not as visible as a man's. Have some compassion. Be loving and tender. Open up and dialogue about it. Don't ignore the obvious. It leads to weird energy. Sexual communication brings intimacy. Explore patterns, if it's happened while he's masturbating or before, or what are his thoughts around it. Is there connection, resentment, boredom? His cock is telling him something. What's it saying? Lily Love Coach.